Now, fun fact, because I'm sure people are wondering. I was keeping an eye because I was looking at what was going on, and I loved looking at the stats because I don't know. Even while all this stuff was going down, I did find it terribly interesting to look at the back end stats of what was happening, and it was kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. So the way YouTube works as well when you lose subscribers, by the way, is that it does it in increments of 10,000. And so sometimes some people, you know, they love to be like, oh, they lost this many, right? Not entirely true. I can actually tell you the exact amount of subs that we lost, because I think it's interesting. And I think that it also serves value to explain that it is not just people outside of Trash Taste. We did lose subs. I can tell you exactly how many right now. Let me find out. We lost 4,000 subscribers, which is not a lot, but I also think it is disingenuous, and I think it's bad to pretend like, you know, that people aren't unhappy. So like, you know, I'm like that's sad. I feel bad that 5,000, 4,000 people who watch Trash Taste feel like they can no longer watch it. You know, that feels bad, and that's a miscalculation on our part. There was also a couple of stuff flying around that was interesting. So first of all, a lot of people were accusing me of deleting comments. We're not deleting comments, we never have. YouTube has auto-moderation, so naturally if you put the word terrorist in a comment, a lot of the time YouTube is going to flag that, because why wouldn't they, you know? And there was some of the comments were kind of crazy. You know, some of the language was inflammatory, and they're like, why is my comment being deleted? And they said like literally like the 5 key words that would get you banned. One other thing that I noticed is that when I looked at the comments, and I'd scroll, and I don't know what's happening here, and I don't know what exactly is happening, but I would literally see comments, you know, because I was watching the comment feed from the back end, right? So from like the admin side, that some comments would appear. There were negative comments, which is fine, I don't care, that would have 10 likes within like 1 second, which I thought was like, huh. Because on YouTube, the most important part of a comment's lifespan is not if it gets to 5,000 likes, it's if it can get a lot, like a 10 to 20 likes in the first like 10 seconds, because that's what will bump it up. So I don't know what's going on there and how that works, but that was a thing. One other also thing that I noticed that I will just mention very briefly, I'm not going to get too much into it, is that well, there was obviously a lot of bandwagoning on it because people were, you know, loving it, and people don't like Hasan, and so people were jumping on it and making videos about it. There was a lot of stuff that people said that was just flat out not true, and people were just making stuff up. Some people were saying like, oh, they didn't have this guest on, they said they were too controversial, but they had another guest on. That's never happened. That's just a bunch of lies. So I don't know what that was about. There was also, the only things that were disappointing from me, my perspective as well, that like really, I was like, man, what the fuck? Is that people would then make whole narratives based around, because we had X on, that we then couldn't criticize any other creator, we couldn't, you know, they were like, oh, you know, these people have changed, they're horrible, yada yada yada. And that was like, oh, okay, that sucks that people are just making assumptions, but not a big deal. But yeah, no, I mean, look, the reason why we didn't address it right away, we wanted to wait, was because a lot of people were, you know, they were just demanding things. There were a lot of comments that were like, you need to delete this episode, where I feel pretty confident in saying this, where if you ask Trash Taste viewers, do you want them to delete the episode? I think most viewers are sensible. They would say, hey, even if I don't agree with this episode, or I don't agree with this one, I wouldn't want you to delete an episode. You know, I think that's crazy. Now, also, I want to make it very clear as well, in case you're watching this on YouTube, that because this is no doubt going to be a clip, that I'm sure that there's a good chance the comments, you know, might get taken over depending on how big this clip is. Please think for yourself. Please don't just read top comment and form your opinion based around that. Obviously, you're all adults. I trust you. And what I really appreciated is that a lot of Trash Taste fans did seem to be just tired of people picking a side and being emotionally charged about it, and we're kind of just like, hey, maybe it's not for me, all good, next episode. Or hey, I don't engage with this, I'm done. So, I appreciate a lot of the sensibility in this, because I think, look, We live at a time where everyone is so emotionally charged, and there's just so much rhetoric and so much, you know, everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got a side. And so I appreciate that people sometimes can have a sensible approach to it. I think what you will always get from me is never a clear-cut answer. You will always get an argument that I try to be as sensible as possible, and I try to consider all sides. And I'm not like a centrist or anything like that, or whatever, or any fucking thing like that. The reason I don't talk about my political opinions online is not because I don't have any political opinions, it's just because I just think that the online space does not get anything out of me talking about it. There's nothing to engage. I don't think it provides any value. I just hate France, and I think that's a fair opinion.